Hello, everybody. Welcome to Strategize Your Business Online, the live for entrepreneurs like yourself who are looking for a bit of business inspo and ways to leverage the online space so you can grow your business and earn more revenue. My name is Dee Boswell-Buck, and I am the host. And I'm also the founder and digital marketing strategist of the company called Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting. And what we do is we help you to connect strategically with your dream clients in the online space. Thank you so much for watching this live. It is streaming on LinkedIn, and a little bit later, we will be repurposing because I am a believer in using your content strategically and on different platforms where your ideal clients are on. But I do enjoy LinkedIn, and this is a weekly live that happens just about every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. for about 30 to 35 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. And if you are watching this live, I would love if you could put in the comments your name. Who are you? What is the name of your business? How is it that you help your dream clients? And share your contact information. And if you are watching the replay, please indicate in the comments replay and still, yes, leave that information. And whatever platform you are watching this on, please again share that. And I'll be sure to take a look at where you are and see what it is that you're doing. Thank you so much. So today's topic, I figured, is a timely topic. I get this particular question often. So today's topic is 5 reasons why your audience isn't paying attention to you. Now, this is more for if you are using social media, and I do hear quite often from people who reach out is that it is like crickets when they are sharing content on whatever platforms that they're using. Or perhaps what's happening is that when somebody does book a call, it's for a service that they do not do. And so to me, that means that your audience has not seen you and therefore they're not paying attention. So I'm just going to read a little bit of what we've been sharing online. And if you feel that this resonates with you, and maybe if it doesn't, that's okay, because I would love, with gratitude, if you could share this to a business friend who this could be for. And first of all, I'd love to say good afternoon, Camille Smith from Fitness IQ Services. So thank you so much for watching. And she helps people become financially fit. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. So here is what we've been sharing. If you are feeling frustrated that your social media efforts are not helping you to book leads, if you feel that the activity in your DMs is slow and sluggish, then you don't want to miss this live and you're watching, and thank you so much. So today we're talking about 5 reasons why your audience isn't paying attention to you. And today I will be sharing the importance of a social media strategy. I'll be touching a little bit on a strategy in each of these 5 points and how to align your business goals. Because at the end of the day, in most cases, hopefully we are doing the business that brings us joy. And we do this because we have this special skill. We're leaders and we can help our dream clients with these issues that they're going through, and we can help them to solve these pain points. And you want to make sure that your marketing is resonating with those individuals, because you can help people in your marketing before you even meet them. And again, you want to make sure that the right people are reaching out to you, because you want to work with people that you love to work, and you want to like work in your zone of genius. So again, let us know where you're from, what it is that you do. And this is interactive, so I can see the chat that's going on. And if you have any questions, I will make sure that I take a moment in between and stop to answer them. Or even if you just have something to chime in that's helpful, or you just want to like rant a little bit, then please share that in the comments. Now, 5 reasons why your audience isn't paying attention to you. So, number one, it's kind of a reason why they're not paying attention to you. And I'm just going to say that this is something that I want you to do. And this has been something that has really helped me this year. And I think when I explain the reason why, you are going to say, okay, Dee, I get this. So, number one, the reason why your audience isn't paying attention to you is that you're not giving the thing that you want to do enough time. And I'm not throwing shade or anything, but this is just something that we do because we are business owners and we are responsible for what goes into our bank account. And so that means that we are out networking, we're building the service, we are changing the service, we are trying this and that. And of course, if things are not working, then we're like, oh, I have to change this. So excuse me. So, my first thing is that I would love if we can all give your business task 90 days. So, again, we tend to switch around a little bit because we need to try that new thing because we think that something just is not working. And this has been something that has really worked for me. Now, what I did at the beginning of the year was that I took a look at my services and I looked at like I had like quite a few things on my website for what it is that I do. So I'm like half a decade in business. And when I started my business, I was like, yes, I will do that. Can you do this? Yes, I can do that. And I just put it up on my website. And now, this year it was about niching down. So, niching down so I can work with a specific target audience. And also, like, not just working with that target audience, but sometimes the people that you are getting in front of, they can help you. And so I like to think of it as these 3 buckets. You want to get in front of people who need you and they're going to want to buy from you. You want to get in front of number 2, the individuals who could be like an excellent collaborator. So, like Camille, I know that she has a podcast, and I met her at a networking event, and I'm not too sure if we're going to see Christopher on this call or not. But Christopher, he's like a networking genius, and I know that she and Christopher, they do things to collaborate. So when you're putting things out there, or when you want to connect with individuals, people who want to buy from you, people who could be a really great collaborator. So of course you want to make sure that you gel well with them. And as well, number 3 would be individuals who are the cheerleaders. And believe it or not, like while likes do not pay the bills, if somebody is engaging in your content and they're also connected with people who could be the great collaborators, and they're also connected with people who could be your dream clients. Well, every time that they engage with your content, then what happens with the algorithms is that your content can show up in front of the people that they are connected with. And this happens quite often on LinkedIn, where I might post something on LinkedIn and I'll see that somebody who I don't know, they saw my content. And then when I take a look, well, they saw my content because my first connection, like a connection, actually engaged with my content, and then that person is connected to them. And you know that saying, birds of a feather. So if you are building your connections on LinkedIn strategically, it is a networking platform. And if you are not only just sharing content, but you're actually like looking for the individuals who could fall into those 3 buckets, then you're going to start building a network and you will get in front of more individuals. So back to the give your business task 90 days. And I want to like bring that down a little bit. Like think about like what are your top 3 goals, and give those top 3 goals maybe I'll give you 4. Give those top goals 90 days. Now, right now, you might say, are you kidding me, Dee? 90 days? Like this is the last quarter. So I did the math because I figured you were going to say that. Now, first of all, 90 days. That sounds like a very long time. But if we think about it, it was just January 1st the other day. And now it is October the 18th. So time really flies. But I'm going to break down what 90 days is. So I did, it's 90 days. And of course, between today and the end of the year, it's not 90 days. So in 2 months and in 13 days, it'll be December 31st. In 10.6 weeks, it will be December 31st. In 74 days, it will be December 31st. 74 days. So that is 16 days short of 90 days. Now, I just want to say that when you are doing something and you are focusing for that 90 days, well, things are not going to happen right at the 90th day. Because you're being consistent, the things that you want to see will start happening within the 90 days. So you're going to start seeing things happening in the 30th day, in the 40th day, in the 74th day. And you are going to see like the right things come back to you because you are being consistent. Now, I do say that in those 90 days, you might do something and you're like, no, this is not for me. I'll give you an example. We decided that we are going to, for our business, we are going to show up more on Twitter, now X. So we were going to show up more on X. And for 90 days, we were sharing content for Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting. And actually, we kind of stopped it short because nothing was happening. And also, I think about like what works best for my lifestyle. Now, we write content from scratch for our clients. We align it with their business goals. And then we're also monitoring their social media. And then we're also doing that for my business because my business is treated as a client as well. Well, Twitter or X, it's a platform where, you are tweeting and you are engaging with other individuals. And that's not something that lines up for what it is that I want to do. Now, while I do digital marketing, I also find ways to disconnect. And disconnect means that when I'm in Dee Boswell-Buck mode, that is when I am focused on working for the clients and even looking at Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting, but there's nothing personal going on. And then when the end of the day happens and my daughter goes to bed, then I am scrolling mindlessly looking at reels or I'm laughing like on a weekend. And that would be Denise mode. So Denise is my full name. So I'm not really one to engage with people on certain platforms like continuously. I might do a shout out, I might do some comments, a little bit back and forth, and then by the second comment that I send to somebody, I'm out. That's just the way I work, just because I want to disconnect. So we didn't even give X 90 days. We actually decided like maybe in 2.5 months, just not to move forward because it just wasn't a great use of time. So give your business task 90 days. And another reason why you want to do that is that when you are sharing on social media, you want to be consistent, which is kind of tapping into one of the reasons here. But when you are giving something 90 days, then you are showing up and you are speaking about that thing over the 90 days. And then what will happen is that the right individuals, they will reach out to you and they're going to reach out to you because they are very clear about what it is that you do because you're not flip-flopping and sharing different things. So just, you know, um, sometimes just like relax a little bit. It can get a little bit scary, but give your content or give your business goals 90 days, and then everything will just flow through and be more consistent. I want to say hi to Michelle. Hello so much. She's a business coach and facilitator, and she helps kind hearted business owners See, they don't have to be a people pleaser to be a pleasure to do business with. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Number two, plan your marketing in advance. So, this is a reason why you are not being seen by your audience. And this is because if you're not planning to do your marketing, then you're just not going to show up. And then what happens is that you'll do a one-off social media post, or you'll one day you'll say to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I haven't shared any content. What should I share?" And then you put something out there, and then you open up your laptop or your phone, and it didn't really align and nothing really happened. And of course, because you are not showing up, then when you do show up with that one-off post, and people just are not really going to understand what it is that you do. So the second reason why your audience isn't paying attention is that you are not planning your marketing in advance. So not only are you not planning your marketing in advance, again, remember the goals or those services that you are going to focus on selling for 90 days. Like in my case, I really niche down. Well, that means for the next 90 days, when I am speaking about the top 3 or 4 services that Boswell-Buck Creative sells, then I am going for 90 days talking about that. And when I say 90 days, I don't mean that I'm on social media Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But within that 90-day time frame, I am only speaking about these particular things. Or within that 90-day time frame, like maybe one of the goals is to grow my email list. So I know that within the next 90 days, I have to share so many pieces of content that are going to encourage people to go onto my email list. If you take a look at my social media content on LinkedIn, Facebook, or on Instagram, you will see that on Sundays, there is a post that tells you about the newsletter that is coming up on Monday at 10:02. It gives you a little bit of insight about what it's going to do, what it's going to be about. And then there's always that call to action to jump into my DMs if you want to get on the list. Believe it or not, that social media post now, it gets at least 2 to 3 individuals every single week who give me permission to put them onto my email list. And I hear often that entrepreneurs say that their email list is growing at a snail's pace, or perhaps they've created this download and nothing happened. Well, you have to share things over and over again. So I have a free download called the 10 Essential Social Media Strategies. And if you are interested in getting that, see, there's my call to action here. You can get into my DMs and you can say, Dee, here's my email address, and I will make sure that you get that free download, but you'll also go onto my email list as well. So plan your marketing in advance and make time to plan your marketing in advance. So what does that look like? If you are doing your own marketing, if you are doing your own social media posts, well, that means that you should find a quiet space, and once a week, take about an hour to an hour and a half and create content that's going to support your business goals. Now, those pieces of content could be about, I'm selling this and I'm also selling that. But also, people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. So think about, like, could you also plug in a piece of content there that has nothing to do with your business? One of the things that I like to do, especially on Instagram, is I like to do funny reels because I'm an introvert. So I do these funny reels because it's just easier for me to be somebody else and get a good laugh. Or if I'm short for time, I will find reels that align with my brand, and then I repurpose that into my social media feed. And I always remember to give that original creator credit. So that is just an excellent way to show up for your business. As an example, if you were to take a look at my Instagram, you could scroll back to about a month and a half ago. I repurposed a piece of content that had the US swim team, synchronized swimming team. And it was about 7 ladies swimming, of course, synchronized swimming. And they were doing it to that Michael Jackson song, Annie, Are You Okay? And my social media post just said teamwork. That's what we're all about. And when you take a look at it on my Instagram account, you will see that we got so much engagement. We had so many shares on that. And of course, we credited the original creator for it, but it brought so many eyes to the social media post. And it was a really feel good post as well. So I say, every week, take about an hour to an hour and a half and put together pieces of content that will support your business and also will help to get people to learn more about you or also warm up to you as well. If you want, you can do that every 2 weeks, but I like to keep it real. If you do this every 2 weeks and you're already struggling and you already have this question that you're already going through the fact that people are not paying attention to you, then when you sit down to create content every 2 weeks, you're going to find that you are just going to fall off the wagon because you have to make more content the longer you put it off. So that would be number 2. Number 3 is that use the right keywords. Now you're like, keywords, Dee, why am I going to use keywords in my social media? Well, it's because these social media platforms now, they act like a search engine. Now, typically when people hear the word keywords, and I understand, you think of, okay, when I go over to Google, I'm going to key in these keywords. If I use Yahoo search, I'm going to go into the search bar and use keywords. Well, when you are using keywords, that also helps your social media to show up or your social media post to show up. Now, as an example, LinkedIn, an awesome search engine. If you were to take a look on LinkedIn in the search bar, and as an example, I like to look for entrepreneurs or I like to look for business owners. And perhaps I even want to niche that down a little bit and look for business owners in Mississauga, Ontario. Or perhaps I want to look for business owners who are in Calgary, Alberta. Yes, social media can bring us closer to our target audience. And that's just using keywords. So try using the search bar and using using those words to describe your ideal client. And if those ideal clients are those individuals who could be the great collaborator, those individuals who could be the great cheerleaders, if they are using those keywords in their profile, then they are going to show up. True story, quick story, is that the OBGYN who delivered my daughter at the hospital, she was taking over the practice that she was at, and she knew she needed to have more of a social media presence. So she went on LinkedIn and she put in the keywords social media marketing manager, Ontario. And when I had my daughter, I was working at a 9 to 5, and I was there for about 26 years. And this doctor, she did not know that I left to become an entrepreneur. Well, she was putting in the keywords, and then I came home one day and I saw that this doctor, she sent me a LinkedIn request and she sent me a direct message. And the direct message said, "Oh my goodness, you started your own business. I would love to learn more." So I thought she was just like, "Oh, yeah, just being friendly." And she just gives me the warm and fuzzies. And I sent her an email actually, and then she emailed me and she told me that she's taking over her practice and then if I could come in. So I thought, okay, maybe she just wants to hear some advice. And I went over, to her office, said hello to all the nurses. And then she told me that she needs to create a social media presence and also she needs a website. And again, I came up She wasn't looking for Denise Boswell-Buck. She was looking for somebody who does websites or social media marketing, who are located in Ontario. And because I had those right keywords in my profile on LinkedIn, then I came up on the sidebar. Same with on Instagram. I know that, hashtags are incredibly important, but think of like, how is it that you can use keywords? And how can you use keywords? Well, you can use keywords in your content by offering value. Offering value is, what is my target audience searching for? And it could just be as simple as, what are they searching for when they go on Google? And a test that you can do for yourself is that you could go on Google and you could say, what are the top challenges that people have in this situation here or in this industry that I'm in? And Google, I don't know if you've noticed, but pay attention. When Google gives you an answer, it gives you several drop downs as well. So not only is your keywords coming up, but that drop down of multiple keywords, those are top questions that people are searching for. So think about what those top questions are and write content that supports it, because people are looking for those answers. And then when they go over to social media and people are getting smarter, they're either going to search with hashtags or they're actually going to search with keywords. We want your content to show up. So, a reason why your audience isn't paying attention to you is that perhaps you are not writing content that offers value. When you write content that offers value and also content that is answering the answers for your ideal clients, you're just naturally going to use the right keywords as well. I would say stay away from the fancy words. Now, I know I said it a few times, ideal client. I used to say that a lot in my social media. And one time, a friend of mine said to me, like a business bestie, she said, Dee, trust me, when people are waking up and they are having a hard time with their marketing, they are not saying, gee whiz, I hope I meet my ideal client today. They are thinking things such as, they go to their phone and they think that they've done all the things and they're looking at their phone because they woke up the next day and it's like, are you kidding me? I wrote some kick-ass content. Sorry. I wrote some amazing content and I only got 2 likes. Or another thing that people are going through is that, are you kidding me? Somebody booked into my calendar and they booked into my calendar. And then when we spoke, they asked me about a service that I don't even do. So this is why you want to make sure that you've got the right keywords and you're also speaking in a way that that you would speak to a friend. So an example would be that, let's say, I'm blessed. I have some great friends, and I'm thinking about the friends who are not inquiring about my business, but we're going out for breakfast, and they say, "Oh my gosh, Dee, like I'm not too sure about when I should be scheduling some content." Well, I don't say, do this and do this and make sure you do this. I say things like, well, do you know much about your audience? Do you know what time they stay up? Well, because I would say that, if you know that they're up early in the morning and they're typically not on social media, even though the platform is saying that you should schedule content at this time, if it's not the right people who are looking at your content, then kind of start fresh and start thinking about when is your audience actually online. So notice I didn't use the big words and things like that. I just kept it real. Of course, you want to finesse it, you want to say the right keywords. But when you're writing your content and you're giving value, speak to your audience like they're your buddies. It's information that you would share to somebody. Hi, Rosanna. Nice to see you. I've been seeing you online. You've been sharing. Rosanna, she's an amazing, sorry, I'm just like jumping in here. She's an amazing website. She does like website development and she loves doing WordPress websites. I say that because WordPress websites, that takes a lot of skill. And honestly, if people reach out to me and they need that that they need that WordPress website. Again, remember I spoke earlier that I'd like to stay in my zone of genius. I could do the website, but I don't love it. So thank goodness I've got some amazing friends in the business. I know somebody who's a brand photographer, and then Rosanna I met this year. So if anybody needs a WordPress website and I know her work, I'm just like, I have somebody that I can connect you with. So that was my introduction for you, Rosanna. Nice to see you. Number four, we're getting to the fifth one. Number four, why your audience is not paying attention to you. Okay. Your images need an update. I say that because I want to say that if you are a business owner, or social media is a great way to reach many. And I don't think people are aware of the commitment that is involved. So great, like you are writing your content, or perhaps you've got an amazing virtual assistant. I have an amazing virtual assistant. Maybe you have an amazing virtual assistant who is writing the content, or perhaps you have an amazing social media coordinator. I have an amazing social media coordinator. And I mean, and I say that because um, when it comes to marketing for Boswell-Buck Creative, I lean on my virtual assistant and my social media coordinator. They treat me like a customer. So they write the content, it's aligned with my brand, and I go in and I make sure it sounds like me and they're really getting it. Sometimes I read it and I giggle and I say to them, oh my gosh, that sounds like something I would say. So, what I was saying is that yes, you need to have the content to go on social media, but in a lot of cases, social media is very visual. And there's been many times where I'm scrolling and I see that, business owners, they are using the same photos again and again. I've seen the same photos, like I've done a count, and I've seen that the photos, they are repurposing 7 photos, and it's always 7 photos, and the 7 photos, it's not repetitive like this photo, this photo, this photo, but it's this photo, then the second photo, then the third photo, and then they try to make it look different. Maybe they'll knock out the back. But if you want to stop the scroll, you have to have quite a few images on social media. And yes, you can repurpose that content, you can repurpose your images, but just know that eventually, when you are sharing the same pictures again and again, it does not stop the scroll. And there's something that I learned this spring, and I use it often. It's not my phrase, I did not coin the term, but image fatigue happens because everybody has seen it. And just think that often it's the image that people see first, then they read the caption. So if you haven't stopped the scroll, then your audience is not paying attention to you. So I told you that I've seen as little as 7. I've even seen it where people are using the same, like 2 images. They just put it against like different backgrounds, but it's clearly the same image. And yes, you can get professional photos, but I also want to say that these images, they could be images that you have taken, so as long as they're good quality. If you take a look at my social media, like I do a little bit, I share a little bit differently on LinkedIn, and I have a bit more fun. I have fun on LinkedIn though, but you could see that the fun looks a little bit different on Instagram. And if you are to go onto my Instagram account at Dee_Boswell_Buck, you'll see that I have professional photos. And then you'll see that there's a photo of me and I'm not wearing makeup. So I love running in the winter. I like the temperature dropped 2 Saturdays ago, and I was in my happy place because there's nothing like heading outdoors. And even if I'm like going to the garage to take my daughter to school, she is annoyed by me. She's like, because I'm like, her name is Lena. Lena, wait. And she's like, oh my goodness, mom. And I'm like, take in the air, like that cold air, because there's nothing like breathing in that cold air and then it hits your lungs. And she's like, can I just go to the car? So if you go onto my Instagram, you will see that a couple of Saturdays ago, I was in a toque because the temperature dropped to 8. And I shared a post of me walking through the neighborhood. And then yesterday, then again, like there were other posts of the professional images. And yesterday I got my tires changed. And that one was my little funny post, but you'll see that I'm just in my car and I've got this happy face that yes, I got my tires changed. And then when you scroll to the next picture, it says, but the temperature is going to be 18 degrees, which kind of freaks me out because I put the winter tires on and now my tires are not fit for the weather, but the temperature is going to drop. So you can keep things fresh by using those professional images if you have professional images. And you can also keep things fresh by sharing pictures of yourself. What's happening behind the scenes? What's happening in the day of the life? Just you want to do things that stop the scroll, and then your audience will pay attention to you. So, yes, that was a personal post that I shared yesterday, got my tires done. And I think about like, how can this post help for the next thing that I'm going to schedule? Well, when you get the algorithms going, and a lot of people are looking at that particular reel or that particular picture, then the algorithm will be kind to you for the next thing that really needs to have some eyes on it. Hey, Trevor Short, thanks so much. And he says, if you want to stop the scroll, babies and puppies works every time. I love that. You're too funny. Okay, so yes, so we want to stop the scroll. And one last thing I want to say about that is that a few weeks ago, about a month and a half ago, I shared a social media post. And if when you take a look at it, you'll see it on Instagram. I'm thinking I might share it on LinkedIn, but it's on Instagram and it's just pictures of lip gloss. And it got so much engagement. I was not in the picture. You have to go and take a look at it. Just go over to LinkedIn and you'll see like there is go over to Instagram and you'll see that there is a message in there. But yes, it stopped the scroll because it I wasn't in the picture. And then number 5, why your audience isn't paying attention to you, you're just not showing up enough. And I think I've alluded to that in some of the other things. Like if you're not going to plan, then you're not going to show up enough. If you're not showing up enough on social media, then people will forget about you. And I've got some more math here for you. Now, just think, and this is something to think about when you're thinking about the fact that you don't have enough images. And I missed this point here. If you don't have enough images and if you are showing up on social media, like you should be showing up on social media a minimum of 3 to 5 times per week. That's how I feel. Now, if you are showing up 3 times per week on Instagram over so many weeks in a year, that means you have shared 156 posts. So just imagine those social media accounts that I've seen where they have like they've only shown like 3 to 7 images over 156 posts. Can you see what I'm talking about when we talk about image fatigue? If you are showing up 5 times per week, then you are showing up on social media in 1 year. I feel like this math is wrong. Anyways, I have here 180 times, but I don't think that that's right. So let me redo this. 5 times per week, that is on average 20 times per month. So 20 times per month over a 12-month period is 240 times. Okay, there, I've done that math correctly. So if you only have a small pocket of images and you are showing up like 240 times in a year, I should say, then there is definitely going to be fatigue and also your audience will not pay attention to you. So back to you're not showing up enough. I mentioned some numbers there. 3 times a week, I think, is the minimum. The minimum. that you should show up on social media. 3 times. So maybe that's something where you want to make sure that you are showing up when your audience is online, and that's if they are the right audience. Because if the wrong people are contacting you, you're not getting in front of the right audience. So you might have to do a bit of a deep dive into the habits of your customer avatar or who your dream clients are. Are they waking up and are they on early before everybody else gets up? Are they the kind of individual who wakes up early and they're doing some affirmations and journaling and preparing their day? That sounds like the people who I tend to get in front of. Or perhaps are they on social media in the evenings? That's also my individuals too, because during the day, quite a few of sometimes like the people who I work with, they're not even on during the day because they're busy working, or perhaps they have hired somebody to do their marketing, so they're on in the evening. So think about the habits of your audience and then think about spreading that 3 times per week. So don't show up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Perhaps you want to show up on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Saturday. Like now, like showing up on LinkedIn is a lot different than what it was before. Before it would be that show up on LinkedIn Monday to Friday, and particularly on a Monday, and particular on a Wednesday. Well, LinkedIn is like a happy place for many. And there are people who are on this platform on Saturdays and Sundays as well. So Rosanna's like, phew, I am posting enough. You are, Rosanna, because I just told you I see you. And I am, not scrolling aimlessly. I monitor my time. So when people are showing up, and I see like the different posts, then I know. So I can definitely say for you that you are showing up. So show up. The nice spot is 3 times a week to at least 5 times per week, and then you will be more top of mind. So those are the 5 reasons why your audience is not paying attention to you. I'm going to go backwards. So the first one is that you are not showing up enough. And then when you do end up showing up on social media, they have no clue because you weren't very consistent. So they scroll by and they're not going to pay attention to you. So show up more consistently. Number 4, image fatigue. You're on social media, and on most platforms, that means a picture or a video is going to be involved. So therefore, have some more professional photos or supplement those professional photos with some personal photos. And if you don't have professional photos, that's okay. But again, there are so many ways that you can have photos that are not professional. Perhaps you went to a networking event. Rosanna went to a networking event, and she went to an event the other day celebrating somebody's birthday. And she had selfies. And I thought that even though it was a lovely post, I also thought that it really aligned with her business because not only were these people friends, but they're business besties as well. So share like a day in the life, and then that way your audience will not go through image fatigue. Another thing that you want to do is that number 3, you want to make sure that you are sharing content that is of value. When you are sharing content that is of value, you are going to solve the problems that your audience is experiencing. And keep in mind to use keywords, because if they are going to Google to key in some keywords, then you want to use those keywords as well, because social media platforms, they work very well as a platform. And another quick tip is not just taking a look at Google for those keywords, but if you go to Amazon, you can look up book titles because people are searching for books that solve problems. And then that's going to show a drop down as well. Number 4, planning your marketing in advance. So not only do you got to create your content in advance, pause, 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 you have to make time to create your content in advance. I believe that what you should do is at least spend about an hour to an hour and a half writing or putting together your social media content once per week. That's what I do. And that's what we do here at Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting. We do that for our clients every single week. They get their content and then they have so many hours to look through it. And then we send it off to be scheduled. And then they get their content all over again. I apply the same thing for myself. If you don't pay attention to your business, then you are not going to show up. And it's easy for us to work in our business and not work on our business. So please make some time to create content for yourself. And then another thing is the last one, which is kind of like number one, but with your goals in your business, give it 90 days. If you are, give it 90 days. And like I said at the beginning, I have kind of like niched down more so into what it is that I love to do, what it is that my team loves to do. And so if somebody says that they want a WordPress website, I say, oh, yes, I'll take that call. And then it's like typing, Rosanna, are you available? Because I think I have somebody. So that's like where I would like to move forward to. So my content typically speaks about online audits, full service social media management. It talks about online ads. And I think I said audits already, but I speak about 3 or 4 things. And I'm even introducing a new business. However, I'm not like, it's something that we feel that our clients really need or that people really need. We've done some research, but so what I said is give your services, your service offerings 90 days and show up with those 90 days writing content that supports it. So you don't have to share a social media post every single day, but if you are sharing 5 posts per week, then 3 of those posts could be about the services that you offer, and 2 of those posts can give behind the scene. It can show you at a networking event, or like what I did yesterday. I I was like, yay, suckers. I put on my winter tires, and then you swipe over to the next picture and I'm all like ticked off face because it's 18 degrees and I'm not supposed to have winter tires on in 18 degrees. Thankfully, the weather will get colder. So let me know, what do you think you're going to do? I mean, I gave you 5 reasons why your audience isn't paying attention to you. And I am a believer that it's a great idea to focus on one thing. So I mentioned the 5 different things. What is that one thing that you think you're going to focus on? Could it be the fact that you're going to give things 90 days? And I said earlier that, in 90 days, we're going to be into 2024 January. And I know you have things to do in this quarter, but in those 90 days, like on the 30th day, if you're being consistent, on the 40th day, on the 65th day, if you're being consistent, you are going to start seeing that you're going to have the right people reaching out to you. You're also going to see that you were able to discover what the gaps are in your services, and then you fix it and you make it even better so that when things launch again for January, because September is the entrepreneur new year, January is the other entrepreneur new year, right? Then you are going to, when you give your things 90 days, then you are showing up consistently with a consistent message with the right individuals reaching out to you. So I'd love to, I'm thank you with gratitude, same thing, for watching this live, which will be repurposed on other social media platforms. If you have any questions about how it is that you can be consistent in the online space, and also if you are looking for ways to have your audience start paying attention to you and you want to stay in your zone of genius and you need a team who can at least put these 5 things to work, and there are other reasons why your audience isn't paying attention to you. We will make sure that all of that is covered. We do full service digital marketing because we understand that our clients are busy. They want to stay in their zone of genius. So if you would like to reach out to see about how it is that my team and I can help you, I invite you to jump into my DMs. Make sure you got call to actions, folks, as well. Jump into my DMs and we could talk about meeting on Zoom, Or you can go to my website and learn a bit more about what it is that we do. My website is deeboswellbuck.com. And feel free to go to my contact form where I have some pretty cool questions. It's not so long that it's going to take you too long to complete it, but it's a quick contact form, and then you can book a time into the calendar that works best for you for us to meet. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week with a guest, and I'm not going to say her name. However, she is somebody who runs a cooking school. I like to keep things a little bit fresh. So, yes, we're going to be talking about, well, I know you're going to say, why do you have somebody on who has a cooking school? You will find out. Okay. So I will see you next week, Wednesday at 1 p.m. But I will also be sharing on social media more about my upcoming guest. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have yourself an amazing day. Take care.